Hey friends, I have been working on coming up with a dairy-free creamer concoction that I actually enjoy. I found that I really loved the Vital Proteins creamer, but it's super expensive, so I've been working on trying to get something that's similar and still tastes good, but a little bit lower of a cost. So in this video, I'm gonna do just the basic version without the flavorings. And we could call that a coconut flavor because it has just a little bit of coconut flavor from the coconut milk powder. But then we'll do a chocolate or mocha flavor as well as a pumpkin spice flavor. For the mocha flavor, I'm not putting any coffee flavor in there. When something is mocha flavored, typically it's flavored with coffee and chocolate, but since this is meant to be used as a coffee creamer, I didn't go out of my way to go find a coffee flavor. I found that with just the cocoa, it gave it a really nice depth of flavor, a chocolatey flavor, and I was really enjoying it, so I didn't take the extra time to try to find something that would be extra coffee flavor. To my creamer mix, I add collagen peptides, but these don't actually give much of a creaminess. If you just stir it into your coffee, you'll kind of taste it. It kind of gives it a little bit different of a texture, but it actually doesn't lighten the coffee really at all. I add this mostly for the health benefits, and you can find all kinds of information online about the health benefits of collagen. I don't need to go over that here. And like I said, it does give it a little bit of a different mouthfeel that I enjoy, but if you're not interested in the health benefits or you get your collagen in another way, feel free to leave the collagen out and you will get plenty of creaminess from just the MCT oil powder and the coconut milk powder. Of course, keep in mind that the serving size will change drastically if you leave out the collagen. So I am gonna get both of these bowls mixed up with the basic mix, and if that's all you want, just the coconut or plain flavor, then just go with that, and then I'll add the flavorings to each one of these to make the different flavors. So I always go by weight, which is the best way to measure any kind of a powdered substance like this, like flour or anything like that, because just scooping can be very inaccurate, but I will try to give you a little bit of an idea if you don't have a kitchen scale of how much in cups or tablespoons to add of each ingredient. So this recipe makes 10 servings, at least the serving size that I have been enjoying. And I wanted to get 10 grams of collagen in each serving. So I'm gonna do 100 grams of the collagen powder. And I do really like this brand. It dissolves really easily. So 100 grams is coming out to be about 1 cup because this is 1/3 of a cup. And I am doing about 3 of them. Next, I'm gonna add 90 grams of the coconut milk powder. So 90 grams is coming out to be a little over 3/4 of a cup. I'd say 3/4 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons. And then I'm gonna add 60 grams of the MCT oil powder. And you might wonder why I'm using MCT oil powder and coconut milk powder. I'm not gonna say it's bad with only coconut milk powder, but I just prefer less of the coconut taste. And so getting some more creaminess and fat from the MCT oil powder without the coconut flavor, I thought was good. So 30 grams is coming out to exactly 1/4 of a cup. I'm gonna get these thoroughly mixed. It might be worth mixing it in a little bit bigger of a bowl. I overestimated the size of my bowl here. This will make it easier. So if you're just doing the basic coconut plain creamer, this is all you need to add. And the serving size that I use is about 25 grams, and that gives me my 10 grams of collagen and then plenty of creaminess. And so that is a pretty high fat creamer. So if you're doing anything like lean days, pure protein days, you might want to do a little bit different of a mix. And I will post the lean version of this creamer. I just do a little bit different of ratios. Of course, you could just use less of this creamer mix, but on my leaner days, I still want the 10 grams of collagen per serving, so I do mix up a separate batch so that I can still get the lots of collagen, with a little bit less of the fat. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this one the mocha flavor. And I love the special dark cocoa for this because it gives the like a richness, a complexity. I enjoy my coffee really dark, and so adding the complexity and the darkness of this cocoa, I really enjoy. If you like a lighter coffee or prefer a milder chocolate flavor, definitely switch it out for like a milk chocolate cocoa. And I am adding 2 tablespoons of the cocoa, and that comes out to be about 10 grams. It really doesn't need much. I don't put a lot in there. It's just enough to give it that little bit of chocolate flavor. I do not enjoy sweeteners in my coffee, so I do not add any sweetener into my creamer mix. But if you have any kind of a powdered sweetener that you like in your coffee, it would be easy enough to add into the mix. Just think about whatever your serving usually is and multiply that times 10 and add it in. I just had the idea, I wondered if this would work for like a hot cocoa mix. If you doubled the cocoa and had some kind of a sweetener, if you could just add water and it would be like a hot cocoa, that would be something interesting to try. The spices I use for the pumpkin spice version, of course, cinnamon, cloves, allspice, nutmeg, and ginger. 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of the cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of the allspice, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Oh my goodness. And 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger. Gonna just mix this one up in the bigger bowl. These spices smell so good. So I know a lot of people like pumpkin spice creamer in their coffee. I like that somewhat, but I actually enjoy this creamer more in tea. I can just add it to any like black tea. And then if I add it into like a chai tea, it just enhances, you know, the chai spice flavor. So now I will show you how it dissolves into a cup of coffee. I was having some trouble with some of the individual ingredients dissolving well, and I would have to use a frother every time, but I found that when I mixed all the ingredients together like this, that it actually dissolved a lot better. I think part of the reason is because the collagen dissolves really easily into the liquid, and when it's mixed with the other ingredients, it helps them dissolve. So the serving size I have been enjoying for a 10 to 12 ounce cup of coffee is about 26 grams. So I'm gonna measure that into here. I'll try to get a tablespoon measurement for you on that. 26, and you can see it just kind of falls in, and I'm just gonna stir it. There's a little bit of cocoa coming to the top. Just gonna mash that with my spoon. The cocoa is the only thing that doesn't want to dissolve completely, I guess. But if you give it a good stir, I think it'll be fine. I tend to still use my frother when, you know, when I'm home and can do that, because it does give it a nice little foam on the top. But if I were out and about and needed to just have some creamer without a frother, I think it would be fine. I let it sit for just a few seconds and everything ended up dissolving. So I didn't have to use the frother at all. Quick taste test. So good. Yummy dark coffee with a little bit of complexity from the dark cocoa. Delicious. I will put the recipes for these down in the description below so you can check that out. I will also put the leaner version of the recipes if you need those for any kind of a leaner day. Let me know if you have any other ideas for flavors. Of course, you could do all kinds of flavors with some kind of a drop that you would add to the plain creamer. But if you know of any flavors that are powdered version of a flavor, I'd love to hear about it because it's always fun to make variations. So something I ordered from Amazon just came, and I ordered it specifically for my creamers. I wanted something that had a spoon attached to it just to make it easy to scoop out. So I got a set of 3 because it was the cheapest option. I think I'm probably gonna use this one for my Mocha creamer because that's the one I use the most often. So there's 3 different sizes and I thought they were so cute. They're glass and the spoon just makes it so nice. So I think my Mocha creamer will probably fit in this one easily. Maybe it would fit in here, but probably not. I think I'm gonna use this one. So I'm gonna get it washed and fill it up and then I'll show you. So it totally would have fit in the smaller container. I guess I just don't trust myself with container sizes anymore after getting these wrong. But isn't that cute?